Okay, so we're back with Bible-knowledge.com's spiritual warfare section. We're reading Michael Bradley's February 23rd, 2021 document on legal rights of demons and how to deal with them. Section 7 is called Ungodly Soul Ties. As you can see from some of the previous legal rights, the issue of soul ties will come up quite frequently with many of these legal rights. This should be another area that you automatically check when interviewing the person. Since this is one, since this one is such a frequent legal right that demons will use. A soul tie, not often discussed in church, can either be good one or a bad one. A good soul tie is when you develop a good, godly, and healthy spiritual bond with another person. Good soul ties should be developing between parents and their children, between husbands and wives, and between people who are good friends with one another. A good example of a good type of soul tie in the Bible is the friendship that has occurred between King David and Jonathan. The Bible says that the souls of David and Jonathan were knitted together. Here is the verse. It's out of 1 Samuel 18:1. And it was so, when he had finished speaking to Saul, that the soul of Jonathan was knit to the soul of David, and Jonathan loved him as his own soul. But just as a soul tie can be good, godly, and healthy one, they can also go in the opposite direction where they can become ungodly and unhealthy. This happens quite a bit in heavy abuse type situations where the abuser is trying to control and manipulate the one they are abusing. Once this starts to occur, the ones who is being abused will start to fear the one who is abusing them, and they will then do everything they can to try and please the abuser so the abuse will be kept at minimum levels. But this obviously never works. Once the cycle of abuse starts to occur, the abuser never lets up, and they will continue on with the abuse until the person has enough and decides to break away from that person. However, with all of the abuse this person has taken over the years, there's always a possibility that demons will move in to try to attach to the person who is being abused. If the person does not break away from the ones who is abusing them within a reasonable length of time, then an ungodly soul tie could develop between the two of them. As such, it would be our recommendation to also include this as a possible legal right. Ungodly soul ties can also occur between parents and their children if the parents are abusing their children. It can also occur between a husband and a wife if one spouse is either verbally and or physically abusing the other spouse. Ungodly soul ties can occur between two friends if one starts to try to control and manipulate the other one against their own will. God has given each man and each woman a full free will, and no one has the right to violate that free will that has been given to us by God. We should always respect one another's free will and not try to force our wishes or our ways on another person. Not even God himself will violate our free will. He will always give us the ability and the freedom to make our own choices in this life, even if many of those choices will end up being the wrong choices for our lives. If God himself gives us the ability to make free will choices in our lives, then so should the other people who are in our lives. But yet, so many people in this life like to try to control and manipulate others for their own gain and profit. As a result, many people fall into slavery to other people because they're too afraid to stand up for themselves and too afraid to try to break away from the ones who are abusing them. Since demons are all about control and domination, they will waste no time in moving in on someone if they see they're being abnormally controlled and manipulated by another person. As such, very unhealthy and ungodly soul ties that are still in a person's life need to be fully broken before the Lord, so that the demons will have nothing left to feed on and attach to. So ends section 7, Ungodly Soul Ties, of Legal Rights of Demons and How to Deal with Them, by Michael Bradley from Bible-knowledge.com.